Ladybeard! Hey, podcast kittens! It's another episode of
Cat with Beard! You didn't give me an opportunity to say an adjective. You cut out. You did completely. Oi! Leave that in the video. We're gonna do it again. We're gonna go again. Cathy Cat ruined the intro,
I
friends.
wanted to see what happens. Keep you on your toes. Throw you off your expectations.
All right, go again. Start again.
All
Go.
right.
All right.
Hey, podcast kittens! It's Cathy Cat.
Ladybeard coming at you with another midlife crisis averting episode of Cat with Beard! We have an extremely special guest in the this amazing special guest! Oh my god, we're still going! We're still introducing! Hey!
I can't take it anymore!
You know it! Special guest, introduce yourself!
Well, then I wanted to say I'm very glad today to invite my friend Thekla to the show. So there you go.
That's me.
Now this time you just totally stole her introduction.
Yeah, I have cool friends too. Last time you're like, I'm so glad to bring this person to the podcast, and I'm like, I want to say I got cool friends too. So I would like to introduce my cool friend. So cool friend, introduce yourself.
Cool friend, I'm gonna introduce myself. My name is Thekla. Hi, everybody.
Thekla!
Thank you,
Tech
guys.
star. All right.
The TikTok, tickety
Hey,
tack.
tickety tack.
Came
Tech
up with me
support.
for.
Call tech support.
Oh, that's very cool.
The tectonic plate.
Tectac-toe, I like that so
Tic-tac-toe,
far. That was a
good.
good one.
Who are you? Why are you here? You go.
I'm here because I'm a cool friend of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
cool friend who does cool stuff.
So.
Show us what cool
I'm
stuff
a
you
pro
do.
wrestler. I got these.
What I'm talking
She's
about.
showing the
My
guns right
people.
now. Everyone on the podcast, she's showing her guns.
That's right.
If you can only listen to the guns right now, the whole thing is on YouTube later.
You can only listen to
So-
the guns. They go like this.
Female pro wrestler
That's right.
in Japan, originally from...
Austria. Vienna, Austria. That's where I'm from.
Vienna.
Yeah, but
Hell
I've been all over the place, really. I used to live in the States. I used to live in Germany. Used to live in Spain, and now it's Japan. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
This is
well,
the story.
That's
A
we're all
citizen of the
like
world.
that. That is correct.
Hell yeah, what I'm talking about.
Cosmopolitan.
I was in Vienna just last year. I had a lovely time.
Really? How was that?
It was wonderful. I did an anime convention there. It was fantastic.
That makes a lot of sense.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was
people
wonderful.
love that shit over there.
Yeah, it was great. I loved going there for that spit. It was wonderful.
And today we're going to talk about your life and what made you go all the way from Europe and now be a star here in Japan, literally.
Literally.
So,
Because, agency is called Stardom.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh,
They
I
produce
see.
stars.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Good job. Yep, you're a pro wrestler for Stardom.
That's
in Japan,
correct.
which is one of the female Joshi wrestling companies in Japan, which is to say a wrestling organization which does women's matches.
Yes.
Let's.
And the last time I actually saw Thekla was on stage.
That is correct. Was that the last time we
That
saw
was
each
the
other?
last time.
When was that?
On
Was that
stage?
in
I don't know if we saw each other shortly after that, but I did see you on stage, and for me as a watcher, seeing you on stage, like with everything that's going on, I was blown away. There's like so much performance there, and I would love to talk about that, but let's first focus in on you so people get to know you. So,
Do you mean
wanna
in the
know?
ring when you say on stage? You mean in the ring or you
In
on
the
a
ring,
stage? In the
yes.
ring, okay.
Well, but I get it because we kind of walk down
have
the
that
stage
Well,
to
of
get
course,
to
you
the
have it,
ring,
sure,
you know.
ring
So she's
entrance.
not trying to disrespect. I think.
Well, I thought
yeah,
maybe
so-
you were doing some kind of theatre piece or something. I was confused.
I could actually. I mean, I come
Sure,
from
you could.
why not?
she
Maybe I
could
should
do
do
that.
that.
I keep
She could do it
interrupting. Go back to
All
what
right.
she said, the things.
So yes, tell us a little bit about yourself. So,
What do you wanna
brings
know?
you here? How did it all start?
That's
Did you do
such-
martial arts? when you
Okay,
were
all
younger?
right.
It's
all
all
right.
over the place questions.
Back exactly 16 years ago, you pop into the world, and then what happens?
Then what happens? I grew up in Vienna. I was all over the place. I went to you were talking about. I was doing martial arts as a kid. I was doing ballet. I was always very artistic. I was never into pro wrestling. Didn't know a thing about it until I was 18. And I became an art student back in Vienna. And then I ran into a wrestling show because at that time I was really big in the punk scene, actually.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's like I play in a punk band.
Good.
Yes, sir. So,
Good.
yeah. That's something that we share.
We're gonna have a big conversation
exactly.
about that.
We might. I could, support band or something. Let's go on tour.
That's a great
yes,
idea.
sir.
Here,
What do you
live on the
play?
podcast, and you're listening to it right now, guys.
Oh my lord.
It's happening now.
Yeah, but then continue. So then.
So yeah, basically I was in the punk scene, and we would go to gigs like 3 times a week or something. Then at some point I saw this poster, and it was beautiful posters like comic style, and I'm kind of into that stuff. That's where you check out always, what's new, what's next in town, and it said Rock and Roll Wrestling Bash.
Ah, cool.
And we were like, that looks very interesting. We've never seen anything with wrestling, so we went there, and it was literally that, rock and roll and wrestling. They had a big ring. They had a crust punk band in the back, just
Good.
playing like crazy music, and then you had like the craziest characters in the ring, like Boris the Butcher. I'm never gonna forget Boris the Butcher because he was crazy. He was like a masked, butcher, and he had like a dead naked chicken. And he was like swinging it around. It's like something like that you would get in a
wild.
Vienna is wild, man. I thought at that point, because we would go to gigs, we'd be hanging out with like all these rock stars and people complete psychos, and now we thought we had seen it all, but then Boris the Butcher comes out with his
live chicken,
with his live chicken, and we could stand like right at ringside, it's like we were like banging the rings, like what is this crazy shit? And Boris was just hitting his opponents with the chicken, and everybody was going crazy, and the chicken started to like fall apart into many pieces, and it was like flying around in the ring and then outside, and then the audience started to pick up the chicken bits and just throw it at each other.
Oh, wow.
And the next second I turn around and it hits my friend in the face, and she turns around like, who wants some? Who wants some? She thought somebody had punched her, and there's like blood on her face, and we're like, this is awesome. That was it. We were like, where is the rest of this shit?
Yeah.
So we started watching like WWE, It was like this, we became like wrestling fans.
That is the most punk story I've ever heard. And the most European story I've ever heard, by the way.
why
Just throwing around the bits of the chicken, the straws of chickens at each other. That's the most European thing ever. Of course that happened.
We were like, hi, we're like, this is absolutely insane, But it was just so intense, You've got the show elements, because it's like wrestling, that the way we experienced it that night was so much like punk too, but just more physical, just more radical, and also kind of like I don't know, funny, how wrestling can be funny and violent, So
was the quality of the wrestling good?
It wasn't too bad actually. I think like it wasn't. There was I think it's like from the German scene or European scene, there was people who are kind of like pretty good, and they would get into gimmicks,
cool.
So just for that rock and roll tour kind of thing.
Wicked. So it would have been your first time seeing suplexes
Exactly.
and body slams. And
That's
off the
right.
top
So
rope
I
and-
can't tell you if it's like how
Sure,
the
but
quality
it was
was
your-
really
that
good.
was your
But
gateway
that was
drug,
my.
right?
That's right. Yeah.
So after seeing a guy literally whacking other people with a
love
dead chicken, you're like, this is great. Let's do more of this.
Yes,
found a sport for me.
So yes, exactly.
Dad.
Like that tells you a lot about what kind of person I am. I think So sign me up. Please, right now. No, it took a while, so we started to see this like there's more wrestling in Vienna. There's an underground scene. What's going on there? So we thought that was crazy, but then we found the underground scene. This was still overground.
Ah, yes.
But then we went
Still above
deeper
ground.
down.
That sounds very dangerous.
It was very dangerous, and that was like where stuff got even trashier in that sense.
WUW?
That is correct. You know it.
I worked with them in Vienna. I worked with them in Vienna last year. Hell yeah, bro.
So we started to watch that. It's like these crazy, like sweaty underground shows in the cellar in like a club.
Oh, that's where the cellar comes in.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So we would go to these shows and watch that regularly. That was like a Sunday hangover thing. It's like, let's watch some wrestling. Yeah, that's perfect. And then after a year or two, we would all be like everybody would get together and be like, that's it. We're all becoming wrestlers now. You know? So we're all
awesome.
doing it. It's like, come
Awesome.
by, you know. We're all like, next day, everybody's like,
How many of your
I
friends
don't
was
know.
there?
I don't remember.
Your crew.
No,
Your party crew.
No, we were like 4 or 5 people. Just we were at a party or a gig where everybody was like, toasting. It's like, yes, we're gonna do this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Next morning, I was like, we're not gonna do
Ah.
this thing.
But you were already,
But I was
already,
the only one. I was like, I'm the one doing this thing.
so you were already a martial artist, so it's not that big a
I mean, I was doing that when I was a teenager, right?
right.
I was doing a little bit of kung fu, like it's called Wing Chun.
Yes.
I was doing that for 3 or 4 years when I was a teenager. After I did ballet,
Good.
I went straight. Yeah, I was doing ballet like competitions and stuff too.
Good.
So and then I was like, I don't want to do this anymore,
right,
and
fair
I went
enough.
straight to
I want
martial
to punch
arts.
people
wow,
in the
right.
face now.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
yeah. So
see you later, tutu.
see you later.
You're still wearing the tutu.
You went back to
trajectory,
it.
martial arts,
You went
ballet.
back to it.
I
I might
couldn't
go
stay
back
away.
to it.
You might wear a tutu from time
That's
to time.
what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Right.
Wear the tutu and
We're-
still punch people in the face.
That's what
That's
my
my
colleagues
whole-
do.
Right, good point.
Yeah,
Good point.
good point. Yep.
So
We were all still
basically-
wearing the tutus, I guess. Then.
Right? It's the only
I'm
thing
definitely
to wear.
wearing one right now, so here we go.
Yeah.
In case you don't know what a tutu is, ladies and gentlemen, it's that kind of frilly, fluffy part of a dress that Lolita fashionists wear it as underdress in a way, and ballet people wear it for ballet. So, in case you didn't know what it is, now you know. So, going away from the tutu, you wrestled.
Yes.
You saw wrestling. You
Yes.
decided I want to wrestle.
Yes, for me. So and then I was like, okay, let's start to train.
Cool.
And then
This
I
is
went
the training montage.
Here we
This is
go.
a training one.
Dun,
Da,
dun,
da,
dun,
da,
dun,
da, 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 da. Yeah, I went to training and it was horrible. It was like it hurt so much. It was crazy.
really?
Yeah, because we didn't have a ring,
Oh, okay.
so
you're
we were
bumping on the hard.
bumping on like the floor and then like these like
Thin mat.
thin mats, you know. And I hadn't done because after I like got out of school, I wasn't doing sports at all. You know, I was like, all right, that's over now. You know, I was very sporty as a kid, but then I was like, okay, it's like university. You know,
Yeah, right.
yeah,
You're on the metal and beer diet now.
exactly. And
Yeah.
like with
Oh, yeah.
with the punk bands, that was enough. You know. So then I went to training, and it was like it's just so harsh because especially when new people come in, they're like, all right,
Yes.
let's because people they think it's a gimmick so much, you know. They think that it's like these people have this idea of wrestling. They see it in like Glow, for example. Some people might know the show, you know, that was going on during that time. There is this Netflix series about like girl wrestling in the States that is based on a real story, I think. And you would have a lot of, I would see it later, we would have a lot of people come in trying out, you know, and already wearing the costume, be like, we want to become wrestlers, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to know that it's kind of this, you know, it's
dues to
physical,
pay.
it's physical, you know, so it might hurt, it's, you know, you're gonna fall on your face, on your back, and you have to, you know, sit-ups and everything. So I came there and it was like, all right, we got a new girl here, you know. It's like a set of like, I don't know, 60 or 50 like of everything, like push-ups,
Yeah.
you know, and like squats and crunches, maybe more. I don't remember. I was like, I'm very like, I love a good challenge, and I'm very how do you say, like competitive. So I was like, all right, like this is
we
good.
go.
Here we go. But so I went through it, and you know, you start to fall, you throw some punches, you know. I went back home. Woke up the next day and my head was hurting for 3 days, like massive headache. I was feeling like my whole body from head to toe hurt for like a week, and I was like, I'm coming back next week. This is
awesome.
perfect.
Good.
That's the spirit.
Not a
Caught
quitter.
the
No,
bug.
I was like, this is for me.
Good,
This is actually
good.
for me. This is a perfect mix of, because I was also studying art, you know, I'm a performer, like a natural performer with the bands, and then I was like, I was missing the physical, you know. I didn't know it's like this, like, you know, I started to go to the gym and like, you know, get jacked for the first time. I was like, this is for me. I like this, you know.
I mean, I can tell looking at you, you clearly got genetics that were designed for bodybuilding,
Yeah,
right?
I'm like
You get-
I'm not so tall, you know, but it's like
But you've got great genetics. You can tell by looking at your structure.
How can you tell?
I can tell by her physique because her waist is very small, and also everything's very muscular, so there's not very much fat on her. She's extremely lean, but at the same time, she has a lot of muscle mass around her arms and shoulders, and around her back as well. Flat stomach as well, so clearly doesn't hold onto fat very easily, but you build muscle easily, from what I can tell. So you're probably a mesomorph, so that's the perfect body type to be for this kind of thing. So she can build muscle easily. She doesn't retain fat easily. So that's ideal.
Wow,
The
this is
man
probably the
knows
most.
what he's talking about.
This is the most scientific I've ever heard you talk.
Hey, listen. In this field of science, I know what's going on. Listen to me. I spent a lot of time looking at body structures.
Yeah, I'm glad I asked. Okay. We'll also have explained it to everyone who's listening to the podcast right now, so it's perfect.
100%. All right, cool. So you go to training.
Yeah.
Brutal day 1.
Yes.
But then you come back for day 2.
That's
How
right.
long until your ring debut?
About half a year.
Half a year? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
what-
ring debut doesn't quite
It's
cut
a loose
it
term.
because it's
It's
a very loose.
a piece
You've
of-
been there. You know what it's like. We don't have a ring. We do it all on like a little mat
Yeah.
on stage
With
you
some
know.
ropes
It's
set up as your-
no ropes,
Oh, no
no
ropes?
nothing, no, just a stage where usually like
Just
a tiny like band would play. You
Oh,
know?
really?
Yeah, it's like with like 5 square meters or something. You know,
Awesome.
it's like, but we go into the crowd. You know.
Yeah,
but,
cool.
Half a year of training, though. I think a lot of people who like just come for the glam, they would have get bored after like 2 or 3 months and say, "I want to be in the ring."
This is partly why the first day of training is so hard, because
so they
you're
don't come
weeding out
back,
people
yeah.
who are just there for the
That's
sake
right.
of yay.
Yeah.
First day of training normally, like in the Fed that I was in, if you got accepted through your tryout, the end of your tryout was a bunch of chops. So chops are like open hand strikes to the chest like that, to the chest and to the back. They don't injure you, but they sting dramatically.
Yeah.
So if you were not hard enough to handle chops, you weren't going to deal with the rest of it.
That's
So
right.
if you can't deal with pain, you
That,
can't
that is
do this.
actually the most important part of being a wrestler. It's not giving pain to other people. Actually, it's about how much can you receive yourself.
Yep.
You know, how high is your pain tolerance. If you don't have that, this job is not for you.
100%. And if you're frightened of pain as well, then that's going to pose a lot of problems. So one of the things with chops is, so you're striking someone like that to the chest, yeah? So what a lot of people instinctively do is they bring their shoulders forward like this, because they don't want to get hit in the chest, but that's the opposite of what you need to do. You need to put your chest out nice and big, so there's a nice big target for you to strike, right? Yeah. So if people start cowering away,
Then you're gonna get hit in the face. Actually,
that's
you know?
exactly right. So that's actually more dangerous. So if you can't embrace the motion and embrace the pain,
Brace the pain.
And I love these sort of things because that's what you're being taught if your teacher is good at the very beginning, and this has so much to do with life itself. Also, you know, you gotta open up, you gotta embrace it, even if it hurts.
Embrace
you
the
know?
pain.
Yeah,
Oh my
if
goodness.
you're gonna pull back, you're gonna get hit in
Get
the
hit
face.
in the
It's
face.
even worse, you know. So it's all this kind of you know.
Stand strong in front of in the face in the face of pain.
we just got
stand strong.
philosophical. Oh my goodness. All right.
So you
what
can
was-
take the pain. You train for half a year, and you were patient for half a year. Wasn't
girl.
there like a moment when you're like, I want to go out now? No.
Oh, they asked me after, like my trainer was like, after 2 months, he was like, "You want to debut next month?" I was like, "No." I was like,
good choice. Good choice.
because of course it's important to just go out there and just learn and just do. But I was like, I didn't want to be too shitty. You know what I mean? I just wanted to have like some sort of level,
standard.
Yeah, some sort of standard. Just do it when I feel ready. You know. So I waited another 3 months.
I
and
like your attitude. What was your first gimmick? Your first in-ring gimmick?
Thekla, just me.
Oh,
just
so you've
say-
always
just-
been Thekla?
Yeah, I've always
Thekla.
been.
You
I've always been
you
me.
didn't start as like Cherry the Clown Woman or something?
I was gonna be Cherry the Clown Woman. Actually, I did have a name. You know, I thought about, and but my friend he's been a long-time wrestling fan, and he said like, what are you doing? Your name is Thekla. Like nobody's got that name.
Is that
you
your
know?
actual name?
That's my actual
Oh,
name.
that's your actual
that's
name.
my
I
shoot
just
name,
assumed
yeah.
it was your
no,
real
no,
name.
No, that's my real name.
That's your shoot name.
It's my passport. Yeah.
I might have to intercept here. You might not know who Thekla is. It's a famous character in a Japanese anime,
That's right.
actually,
Yes.
which is called the Biene Maya, which is about a bee called Maya, and the antagonist is a spider called Thekla.
Yeah, and she's playing the violin. I used to play the violin too. So my name is not very common.
Okay.
In Austria, so kids would always ask me like, what's this name, you know? So, but some kids would know this anime, right?
Really?
So and be like, Thekla, like the spider, right?
The evil spider.
Really?
So that's how my character kind of developed because now I'm the toxic spider, and that's been
Yes.
from the very beginning.
I've heard about the spider named Thekla before, but I didn't know about this anime with a bee and a violin.
Yeah,
That's
in
how-
Germany, it's
that's-
been
yeah.
going. It's been going for years and
Yeah.
years and years. Everyone knows it. I think they even made like a nowadays 3D animation of it recently.
And it's a Japanese
Really?
anime.
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah. I saw it when I was in Germany.
Really?
They have a 3D animation of it now.
Like Japanese also know that. I think it's machibitsu. What's it called? What's
I
it
don't know
called?
the Japanese title actually.
What do you call bee?
Team.
Hachi?
Hachibitsu.
Hachi no
Machi,
anime.
machibitsu. No.
Reaction?
Mitsubachi Hachi, kana?
Mitsubachi Maya.
I think
But
everyone in
Japanese
Germany
know
at
it
this
too.
point thinks it's a German animation, but it's not.
So your
It is a
parents
mix,
named
yeah.
you after an animated spider?
No, that's not how it works. No, my mom's Georgian. And my dad's Austrian, but in Georgia the name is a little bit more common.
I see. Your mom's
they-
Georgian.
Yes.
I
Well, that's
thought it was.
interesting.
I thought it was because they really liked the show. They're so sorry.
That's what I would
That would be
assume as
so
well.
wild.
That's what I would assume.
They were like,
too, no?
let's give our daughter a kick-ass name. and-
Yeah.
No,
It's
they
like when I'm
didn't
going to name
know
my
that.
child Shang Tsung. He'll grow up to be an evil emperor. I can't wait.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so hang on. Sorry.
So
Yeah.
Thekla it is.
Yeah,
the
it could
toxic
have
spider.
It could have been Tina Terror. That's
Tina Terror?
I was
That's
thinking
good.
about. I
Yeah.
was thinking about that name for a little while.
You could
but
have
then-
entered with Tina Turner. Simply the best. Better than all
Yeah,
the rest.
exactly.
Ah!
Exactly. That's the idea. You know. Yeah.
May she rest in peace, by the way. She just passed away. May
yeah,
she,
yeah.
Tina, may she rest in peace. That killed the conversation, didn't it? Okay, so yeah. Okay, so you're
All right.
Get
Your
into the
Thekla, your
ring.
gig, first
WW.
gig. How was your first? Very. Have a sip of water before we do that. How was your first gig? You decided you're gonna be Thekla, the toxic spider. You're going into that ring. What happens?
Cathy Cat's very good at the hype, isn't she? You're Thekla the toxic spider.
me.
You're going into that
Yes.
ring. You're taking your chops.
me
You're
out there.
taking your jumps. You're heading in there. What happens next? You're very good
What
at the
happens?
hype. You're
Yeah.
very good at the hype.
It's like
Good
I
job.
don't have to do it. I can
Nickname-
just.
Yes. I'm bringing the hype.
She's good at interviewing. She's an excellent interviewer.
You could be a good like
That's
ring
my
announcer
job,
or
guys. I
something,
literally
you
do
know?
that every week.
Well, yeah.
Harajuku, guys.
I'm
so
giving
back-
That's
Kind
like
of.
me praising me for speaking German.
I'm giving you a compliment, Cathy Cat, and I'd appreciate it if you'd accept it.
I'll accept the compliment. Thank
Excellent.
you.
Thank you very
Anyways,
much.
bring in the hype. You're going into the ring. You're ready for it. What happens?
It was the most natural thing I've ever done in my life.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty natural to
Okay.
me. Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't very nervous. I knew what I was gonna do. I was just being myself, just amped up a little bit, you know what I mean? It wasn't very different from when I go on stage, you know, with the
To play.
with the band, exactly. So except for that I really get to like
Actually strike other
just
humans.
strike people in the face, which just made it like a gig, but a little bit better.
Yeah, right. Well, like a gig in a certain environment, you know?
Yeah, but actually, yeah,
Right.
like our gigs,
Like a
kind
gig
of.
in the countryside, right?
no, just I mean, in Vienna we were called the like most dangerous punk band, and
Were
we like good bad reputation around Europe.
Really?
Yeah,
What did you play?
guitar and
okay.
and singing.
Guitar and singing. That's kicking. What was the name of the band?
Death Row Groupies.
Death Row. I'll look you up later. That sounds awesome. I can't wait.
What? We have an earthquake
Yes,
right now?
we
I
have an
was
earthquake.
wondering
For
about
real?
this.
Ladies and gentlemen,
okay, this is-
earthquake. I
okay,
felt
earthquake
it
right
and I
now.
just kept talking.
Oh,
I was wondering about this. It's over. This
Oh,
is getting
wow.
stronger. Okay, guys.
Just a minute. This is some good viewing for you lot at home.
Okay.
We're up to number 4.
We're
Oh, dear.
currently still at a 1, but because we're up high, it shakes. Oh, there's a 2 now. Okay, we're at a 2.
Oh, that's the earthquake.
Okay, the director is now opening the door so we don't get locked in, which is one thing you have to do.
Oh.
Is that right?
Yeah, you have to open the door, especially if it's bit metal doors.
Do we
if
need
it gets
to-
really bad for us, we probably have to go under the table, but
How we
it
go?
looks like it's calming down.
yeah.
So it feels like you're on a boat.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah, it feels like a little bit like as you're swimming around. Okay, I think they're closing the doors. Everyone looks a
we're
little
good.
bit less worried.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. Just give me a second. It always makes me a little bit seasick.
Yeah,
Oh,
me
really?
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. I was like, oh.
The first couple of
Ooh.
times, I still feel like I'm turning around.
I still
Yeah,
feel
me
like
too.
we're still
Yeah.
we're still
Maybe
swaying.
we're
yeah.
still.
I think we are
still.
still swinging.
I
Yeah.
think we are. But yeah,
Yeah, you
but for
can see
those
the
of you at
rocks.
home who've never experienced earthquakes, when they happen in Japan, there's, whilst it's going on, everyone's kind
For a
of naturally
moment.
very tense.
Yeah, you watch out whether it gets stronger or not.
Yeah.
That's the
And
first
then
thing you do.
Then you need to go down to
open the door. And if there's any item that is solid like this table, you should maybe hide underneath it, especially if there's loads of equipment on the top.
I have a championship belt at home, which I've suspended just above my bed, so if I get a terrible earthquake, it's going to fall right on my
You're
face.
gonna get killed by a champion.
That's how you want to die.
Which is the way you want to go, isn't it?
I'm gonna go like a champion.
Nice.
You get to keep yours?
It
That's
was
wild.
it was a unique belt.
All right.
I got a feeling
made for you.
they made it especially for me. God bless them. God bless them.
Okay,
I wouldn't
earthquake is
sell about me.
over. Let's keep
Let's
the show.
continue.
Let's
Right.
go back to the show. Thanks so
We
much
were talking
for
about
hanging on.
you're the underground, the most dangerous band in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not in the
We kind of
world.
sidetracked. You were
Vienna.
actually at her first match.
Right.
Now we went
All
back
right.
to her punk band.
First match was cool.
It
was
who
great.
won?
I lost.
It's
Okay.
all right.
How about
It's
you?
all
It
right.
was still cool. You still were
No
like, yes,
shame.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
no,
do
we
this
had a rematch. I won the rematch. and
Excellent.
She was, you know, her career was long. She had more experience, so that
fair
was good.
enough.
And it became a feud that lasted for a few years. You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
we still didn't really. I think we never really decided who's the better one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Is she
it-
Sounds
still
like
wrestling?
good
yeah, she's
rivalry.
still. I think she's still doing it.
What
yeah,
is-
yeah.
what
You
is
should
this
invite her to
individual's
Japan.
name?
Chabella?
Chabella?
Yeah.
Hey, Chabella.
Hey, it's
Open
on.
invite.
Oh, she's looking at
Challenge
you.
Chabella.
Don't you dare come
Hey.
to Japan.
Hey.
She's gonna kill you
there.
Oh yeah, it is on.
I'll kick your ass again
Yeah.
and again
Yeah.
and again.
I've got all the ring insults for you. Chasmella. Yeah.
Oh, you got
invite
her
is
bad
out.
with that
Sick
one.
burn, baby. Now what? I'm also a Joshi pro wrestler. What you gonna do?
That's right.
What you gonna do? I'm the only one that has a beard, so let's go.
It is
Rubella?
on here. It is
Bella. That could have been good.
That would have been a good one
That was really good.
Might have to censor that. That might be
Let's
against
see if
my.
she dares send foot into Japan. If she does, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be there to watch.
And then did you then start soon after that start wrestling around Europe?
Not really. I only had one gig in Germany actually, and then I came to Japan.
Hang on,
right.
you came to Japan yourself, or you were like brought to Japan by one of the feds?
So Chabella was here first.
Really?
Yeah, she was here.
Oh, Chahella, no!
No. I think I had it was like that. I think it was my fourth match ever. I came to Japan.
Wow,
I had
man.
it's like in the underground because there's an underground scene here in Tokyo as well.
Yes, there is.
And that was like 2018.
You came with Fugo Fugo, yeah?
That's right.
Yeah, I
Yes,
do.
sir.
If you're interested, we should go see one of these underground wrestling matches.
They're
in
so
Japan.
fun.
They're
They're
so
so
good.
fun,
I
yeah.
was at one with the Austrian
I'm
guys
on
not
for
long
it.
ago. So it's great
I'm
fun.
up for it.
Great fun.
I know, I saw that. Of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
the boys.
Yeah,
yes,
it was
they were
great.
like with
Explain.
your gig, right?
Yeah.
I just
Explain.
saw pictures. I have no idea. I mean,
Hold on. If I am not feeling included,
Oh, yeah.
everyone
Sorry.
listening and watching
Sorry.
right now
Cathy Cat.
doesn't know what's going
Sorry,
on. So
Cathy
please
Cat.
explain, guys.
We'll continue. Hey, listen to me. WUW, World Underground Wrestling, has branches all over the world. There's one in Tokyo. There's one in Vienna.
That's right.
There's a bunch of other ones too. And so we're talking about. I worked with the Austrian guys in WUW. It's hard to say. I think it's WW.
WW. That's
W-
really
It's easier in
everybody.
Germany, yeah, VOV, you know?
VOV.
VOV.
Yes, yeah.
It's, I work with the Austrians of VOV, but also the guy here from VOV is called Fugo Fugo. And he has a gym in Sugamo
Yes,
or
he
something like that.
does.
But it's fantastic because it's a pro wrestling merchandise store. It's gigantic. So there's all these wrestling T-shirts and masks and things
Yeah.
everywhere. And then you go behind the curtain, ring.
Did you ever have a gig there?
I haven't actually gigged there. No.
I have done like 2 gigs there.
Really?
Yeah, I had a title match there.
Good
it was
fun?
it was so fun.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you do it in front of 20 people or
Yes.
something, but that's how you start out, and it's super fun. You know.
Heaps
Behind the
good.
curtain.
The day I was there, it was me and my 3 friends, and then about 2 other people in the audience. It was so good. It was so much fun. I've never had so much fun.
Sounds epic.
Oh, it's great.
Okay,
We'll go.
Yeah, we
We'll
have
go.
to. We have to now.
Yeah, like the ring. That's the last thing I'm gonna say. It doesn't have ropes. It does have ropes, but the ropes are chains.
Oh yes.
Completely wild. Yeah.
Actually, you can't run the ropes.
Yeah, you can't run the ropes. You cannot, but you can take your opponent and then open his mouth and shove the chains into his mouth and
Yeah.
then just do that sort of stuff, which I love. It's not for everybody.
Everyone loves a good munch on a chain.
Yeah,
Hey.
that sounds like a great time.
You can hit the corners though, yeah. You can run
Yeah,
the
yeah,
corners.
yeah. That's
cool.
fine. Yeah.
And also, by the way, it's a very low ceiling. You can't really go off the top or anything, can you?
No, no. But I like situations where you kind of have to come up with new stuff. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Okay.
So, I mean, it's just a good challenge. You see this chains, okay, can't run the ropes, okay, corners, ceiling is about, don't jump ever. You know?
Yep.
Oh, that low?
I'm glad you like new challenges. I freak out in environments like that. I'm like, well, there goes everything I do.
Yeah,
Get all-
right.
get
That's
all
how you got
outraged.
here to Japan, right?
Well, right. Okay, now, and sorry if you don't mind me asking, how many years ago was this that you came to Japan with VOV?
The first time was in 2018.
So relatively recently. Wow, so hang on, this was your 4th match.
Yeah,
Was in
I was
Japan.
super green.
Wow, bro.
With like 3 dudes, like in a tag
3
match.
dudes.
Yeah, like
Let's hang
me
on.
versus like me and a Japanese like tag partner versus an Indian and a Japanese dude. Yeah, so.
Wow, communication would have been interesting for you.
Oh, it's yeah. I mean,
It's the power of
I didn't-
punch or the language of.
Oh, the language
Pain?
of wrestling, I suppose. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
And so then.
So, yeah, and then-
how long after that? Well, sorry.
So Fugo he kind of he booked the match, right? And he comes up to me after the match. I mean, I was before the match I was like, how's that gonna go, you know? But then afterwards I survived. Luckily I survived, and he was like, oh, Thekla, good though.
You got
Good.
the Fugo
Good.
I was like,
approval.
good though.
Good
I think
dog.
I'm good.
Good dog.
So then he, like a year after, he helped me find get together with Ice Ribbon.
Ice Ribbon, okay.
Yes.
May I
So-
explain?
Ice Ribbon is one of the other all-female wrestling groups in Japan.
That's right.
Okay.
So that's where I started out, and I did. I was training with them in summer 2019.
Right.
For 6 weeks. That was my first kind of tour. You know, first time actually also learning how to bump, like fall
right.
in the ring, learn how to run the ropes. You know, because remember I come from the underground scene. All this like stuff that you
Didn't
usually
have all of that.
Nah, I didn't know
cozy
about
stuff.
it exactly. You know, I was very athletic, like, and I can come up with cool stuff, but I didn't know the basics of running. You know, like navigating in a ring. So I was learning that, you know, and doing my thing here. And then the first time I came to the dojo, and it's like, you know, just experience Japan like as a pro wrestler. I was like, this is great. This is really for me. You know, it's like it's not for everybody. It was out in Saitama. You know. Everybody's like, wow, you're going to a Japanese dojo. It's going to be like, you know, like kimonos and this and that. It's like, it's going to be all
not
Kill
that.
Bill, you know.
It
it's
ain't that.
And I came there, it was great. It was summer. It was really hot, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, and
Smells horrendous. As soon as you go, it smells
horrendous.
awful.
I came into the
yeah.
dojo. It smelled like plastic, you know, like burnt plastic, and how do you call it, like the mats when you know,
Yes.
like
They
how do you
get
call
all-
it? Yeah, they get
They were burning.
yeah,
and, yeah,
burning and hot, and they smell in a very distinctive way. And the walls, there wasn't any walls. It's like metal walls, you know.
Yeah.
Then you walk up there, and it's like, this is great.
Yeah,
I love this.
awesome.
I was like, it felt like I'd been there for a long time. You know, I was like, this is perfect. And then after that tour, I was like, okay, I'm gonna finish my studies because I was still studying in Vienna.
Oh.
I was still studying art. And then I was like, okay, let's get this done with. So I finished, got my degree, and went straight back to Japan. And that was in 2020.
And then world events.
2020.
that
And the
was
world
beginning-
ends.
But then world events. Did you
events.
stay in Japan? Did you go back?
I stayed here.
You stayed here
I
for
stayed
all the
here,
world
sir.
events. Okay.
Yes, that's
Wow.
right.
Which now ties into your career in Japan. So now we've covered the basics
Yes.
of the beginning of Thekla.
The beginning of Thekla.
And then in the next episode, we can maybe go and tackle more in depth what it's like to be a female pro wrestler here in Japan.
Shoulder
kicking
tackle it.
peach, taking names, all of that.
All of that. More, Cathy Cat. More.
all
more.
right.
More
Thekla,
hype.
More hype. More hype. Cathy Cat.
First of all,
More.
Thekla, show us where we can find you on the internet.
You can find me on the internet, Instagram, toxic_Thekla. You can find me on Twitter, toxic_Thekla, and that's about it. I
Just
think.
quickly spell
Yes.
Thekla for the audience.
Oh yeah, THEKLA.
TH.
TH. Yes, that's right.
Yep. So you heard
Toxic.
it, guys.
Do we need to spell toxic?
Go on. Yeah, go on.
Go for it.
TOXIC.
Yeah, because you might have done something. You might have done something ridiculous
Spelling
like
challenge.
TOKSIC or something. Toxic.
That's
you know?
true. That's true.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's a Spears, Toxic. Britney Spears.
Exactly. I was thinking that too. the
Everybody-
taste of your
everybody
lips. I'm
does.
on a ride.
If we want to find out where your next match is, where do we check?
You check on the Stardom website.
Is it
I have
Stardom?
no idea how to spell that. I'm not gonna start.
Okay,
It's
don't
just
even try.
Stardom, wrestling Japan. You're
Just
gonna
Google
find
it.
it. It's all in
Google that.
Japanese. You have no chance of actually finding out what's going on.
Right.
But,
We're gonna talk about that in the next episode.
That's
Ladybeard.
right.
At Ladybeard_Japan on the internet. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. And of course, my group Babybeard at Babybeard_Japan, also on the internet. Cathy Cat.
And I am Cathy Cat _TV because everyone is, streaming, and apparently I'm still stuck with TV. I thought it was clever. Anyways, you can find me on
The
Twitter,
nation of
Twitch,
Tuvalu.
Instagram, on the podcast. You threw me off. I don't know what you just said.
I'm sorry.
But we were going to have another episode. If you're listening to this right now, thank you for listening to our wonderful voices. But you can also, you're missing out on the experience on seeing all these amazing outfits. Currently, Ladybeard is wearing a magical girl-inspired dress.
Magical girl!
I am currently wearing a cyber demon with a massive chainsaw halo dress right
it's very
now.
impressive, actually. I must say, this
Yeah.
is quite amazing.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Tekla,
And then
You-
Thekla has
your
amazing
hair looks
done
incredible.
I just
freshly.
got it done.
It's
yes.
amazing,
And
man.
if you want to see the guns that she brought,
Oh,
the
dude.
muscle
Welcome
guns,
to the gun show!
then you need to check out. I'm trying to wrap this up, guys. Help! Then you need to check out our YouTube channel, Cat with Beard from Japan. Thank you so much if you there and already commented and liked our videos and watched this to the end. So I'll see you soon.
Send us a comment, write things you want us to talk about, and guests you want us to have, and that kind of thing too.
Exactly. And we have a Twitter as well in case you want to let us anything know as well. So on that note, I'll see
Don't
you
forget
soon.
to watch Japan Railway Journals.
Journal.
Close.
We'll see you next time
Yes,
on
another episode where Ladybeard mistook the name. But I'll see you soon in the next episode of
Cat with Beard. Auf Wiedersehen.